So this magician comes up to me, and he says that he has these 3 cards. He says he has this card. I thought that was funny. Anyway, he sets it onto the table. He's like, I have this card. He sets it onto the table, and then he's like, I have that card. So he picks up all of the cards. What he does is he moves that card to the bottom, and he's like, well, where's that card? And I was like, well, I just saw you move it. It's on the bottom. And he's like, no, that's this card. So I was like, alright, well, if this card's on the bottom, then that card must be on the top. And he's like, no, you're not paying attention. That's still this card. And so I'm like, alright, well, then now it's easy. Like, this card's on the top, this card's on the bottom, that card must be on the middle. And he's like, no, you're still not paying attention. That's still this card. And so, like, at this point, like, I'm just confused. I'm just like, alright, well, now I don't think you have that card anymore. And he's like, no, I still have that card. So, like, I'm just getting angry at this point. I'm like, alright, well, if that card's on the bottom, then this card must be on the top. And he's like, no, you're not paying attention. That's still that card. And I'm like, okay, well, now you've made it easy. That card is on the top, that card's on the bottom, this card's in the middle. And he's like, no, you're still not paying attention. That's still that card. And so I just have no idea what's happening anymore. I think that he's using like double stick tape. Like, I think he's using like 9 cards. And he says to me that he's just using the 1, 2, 3 cards. And so I'm just getting angry. I have no idea what's going on. I just think he's trying to make a fool of me. And he eventually tells me that he's just trying to give me some advice, that sometimes in life you get a little bit of this. You get a little bit of that, but not so much of the other. So I have a bunch of aces here. I guess not a bunch of them. I guess I have 4 aces here. And the idea of this trick is that I have the ability to turn them all face up, kind of like that. But I suppose if I did it like that, it would probably be a little bit boring. So what if I had the ability to do it invisibly? You'd ask me, hey Elliot, how do you do it invisibly? All I have to do is just take the pack, give it a little bit of a shake, maybe a little bit of a snap, and I have the ability to turn the ace of diamonds face up while all the other cards stay face down. I know that was really quick. I'll do it in slow motion this time. I'll take the pack, give it a shake. I'm doing this really slow so you guys can catch this. I'm going to do a snap. And just like that, the ace of diamonds actually turns face down, leaving the ace of clubs face up. Right. Now, at this point, you guys know what to look for. So, like, you know, like, you can watch me turn over the ace. I can take the pack, I can give it a little bit of a shake, a little bit of a snap, and then you know what happens. The ace of hearts actually becomes the only card that's turned face up. I know, it's crazy. I thought it was crazy too the first time I saw it, and the second, and the third. But at this point, I asked the magician that was showing it to me, like, do you only have 4 cards? And he showed to me, in truth, he only had just the 4 cards. So then my next question, obviously, which should be your next question, is, well, if you only have the 4 cards, well, what happens if you don't shake or if you don't snap? And I think you guys know what the answer is. That, you know, nothing happens, that they all just stay face down. But see, like, what happens is, all you have to do is just give it a little bit of a shake, and just a little bit of a snap, and that's when the ace of spades turns face up. And that is twisting the aces. So there's this age-old debate, and it's the idea of a gambler versus a magician. Gamblers think that they have better card control over magicians, and magicians think they have better card control over gamblers. If you were at a casino and you saw somebody doing a normal ripple shuffle like this, maybe he even added the bridge, you wouldn't really expect him of cheating. It would probably just be a normal kind of thing. If you saw him doing, you know, like fancy card maneuvers kind of like this, or maybe card maneuvers like this, maybe even card maneuvers like this, maybe you would expect him of cheating, or at the very least being a magician. So this gambler eventually found this magician at some point, and what he did was he went up to the magician and he said, "Hey, I don't think you can cut to 4 of a kind." And the magician said, he thinks that he can, and that he'll wager $100 on it. And he said, the only thing you have to allow me is every time I cut to a new card, you have to allow me that I can cut the deck 3 times each time. And he's like, the gambler said, you can cut the deck however many times you want, just cut to 4 of a kind. And so the magician, with complete confidence, he took the deck, cut it once, twice, 3 times, and that's when he found his first ace of diamonds. So now, the gambler is like, all right, well, cut to the other cards. And so the magician, complete confidence, takes the deck, cuts it once, twice, 3 times, and that's when he cuts the second ace of clubs. So now the gambler is getting a little bit worried. 2 cards are already down. He has 2 cards to go, but he still thinks that he's not going to lose this bet. Magician, complete confidence. He takes the deck, cuts it once, twice, 3 times. He even calls it that it's going to be the ace of hearts. So now, at this point, the gambler is getting really, really nervous. He knows that the odds are impossible of him cutting the last card, but the magician has more than proved himself at this point. Magician, complete confidence, takes the deck, cuts it once, twice, 3 times, and that's when he reveals the final ace. The gambler reaches for the money, thinking that he's won, and the magician says, "Wait, you didn't tell me that I had to cut to 4 aces. You just said that I had to cut to 4 of a kind," which is exactly what I did.